I honestly know that talking about comparing to other artists is often looked in a very negative light, in a very negative way. But for me, it's actually super motivating. I love seeing my rivals, especially when they are better than me or, winning over me on something because it really fires me up for, to compete, to be better, to strive to work harder. Hello everyone, I am MG, and I know that there are some stages in an artist's life where comparing is wrong. There was a time in which I was comparing to the wrong people, and that really depressed me, and that's something also to take into account. For example, there was a time in which I compared to this female artist. I'm not going to say her name, but there are many that will apply the description. But I was comparing highly rendered women faces to my drawings, and that was a while ago. And of course, I would get depressed because I haven't practiced to make rendered faces. I didn't even know how to make them. So I was feeling a little bad because I didn't know how to reach her level or anything. But that was wrong also because I was comparing a different area. Later I realized again that I have been making comics since I was little and I loved it. So why didn't I comics again? So I started making comics again, and then I started comparing my comic to another comics, and everything changed. I wouldn't compare my comic to gag comics, to people that have entire teams, to people who made manga when my art style was different, to people who made black and white comics. I was comparing to people who made color comics and a little more similar to my style sometimes, but in general, nowadays I can really compare it to any comic I want, and I won't feel bad. I don't know why. I think number one thing that I did was falling in love with my art. Nowadays, even if it's wrong, it's like when you have a child that was born a little weirder than other kids, or like they have some kind of disease or anything, but you still love them. They are perfect in their imperfections, and you still love them because they are your child. That's what happens to me with my art. Even if it's wrong, even if I have defects, I love it. But yeah, in general, I discovered that by watching other artists that winning over me regarding artwork and story in their comics, I get super inspired. Like, while reading their comic, I'm getting super hyped to make a comic that's even better, you know? Because I know that if I want to win, I know that if I want to be able to compete with my rivals, I have to be as good as I can. So good I cannot be ignored by anyone. And of course, it is a journey. Of course, it will take a little bit of time to get good. It really motivates me to push myself to do better, to work harder, because I am competing with these people. And I do not see it as a bad thing because even my rivals are like my biggest idols. They are the people that I respect and admire the most. If you are not mad competition, that doesn't necessarily mean that your art is bad. It may be just be that competing in another category or something, like it's for example, let's assume that one of you makes gag comics. Of course, I won't compare myself to you because you are probably far much better at comedy than I am, and your kind of art style that you have to do for that gag comic has nothing to do with what I do. But yeah, my competition are my biggest idols. I love them. I am the biggest fan of them. I consume their content like crazy. Honestly, when I see an artist that spends I don't know, 14 hours in a page making a super rendered piece, like for example King's Folly, does get me super inspired, but I still think that the author is in another level. I will show the art of King's Folly right now. Even though, of course, this inspires me as well, I do not compare myself too much to this comic because because honestly, rendering is a topic that I haven't touched for now. I am more focused on drawing, and that's what I mean that you have to be wise by choosing the area in which you are comparing yourself to. I love this artwork with all my heart, but at the same time, I know that I'm not pushing towards the goal of making render drawings for my comic right now. So that's why I won't compare myself to this comic, or at least not a lot, and I don't feel bad about comparing myself. I learn a lot from my favorite artist about poses, making dynamic poses, expressions, and even a couple of tips on rendering, even though I do not render. One of the main reasons I get motivated to do anything is to compete in a way, and I do not consider myself a very competitive person. Honestly, I am a very chill person, but I just think that healthy competition is like that. The people I compare myself to usually are better than me for now. And what do you think? Comment down below. Check my comic that's linked in the description. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. I will see you in the next one if you subscribe in that red button over there. I will see you in my next video. Thank you for listening. Bye.